going on, guys? Good to see you.
Good evening.
Hi, Chris.
Another beautiful Wednesday here on the Shardor Pros group. Yeah, we are just kind of chit-chatting, before I started the live stream, and got a lot of ideas. A lot of ideas. I don't know. You guys got any ideas?
Always,
I knew it.
always.
Well,
Anybody sell warranty plans on their doors? Like, you can buy this door and then for an extra $200, you'll have service calls anytime you need. Anything like that, like you would get for an appliance, an extended warranty.
that idea had never even occurred to me. But now that you mention it, it's like it's not that bad of an idea.
It'd be a moneymaker. I mean, we almost never have to go back. So
That's the thing. From what I heard, it had to be underwritten by a third party. Like you have to get an insurance company. So like if you went to Costco and you bought an appliance or a TV, I think they use Foursquare or something like that. It's a third party insurance company. But there's got to be kickbacks there. All the companies do it. I mean, they try and push it all the time.
yeah, for sure.
And I think the history of it is only like 10% of the people actually use the warranty. Most of the time, not necessary. So I just didn't know if anybody else did it or even thought about doing it.
Well, what do you guys offer as a standard warranty?
On installation 30 days, because if it's going to leak, it's going to leak in the first 30 days. And we need to know
it's 30-day leakage warranty
leakage, right? And then a year on the parts.
and labor.
Yeah.
You warrant the glass?
Yeah, that's parts. Sure.
Okay.
Not against scratch. Once they sign off, it's not like, if a cleaning company comes in and hits it with the razor blade and scratches it, all bets are off. So they've got to inspect it and let us know everything's okay, within 48 hours.
Right.
It depends on the context of the situation. If they're real hot out of the gate, I'd say absolutely no. The glass is warranted. It's no charge. It's going to cost me $700 to come rip out the other one and reinstall it. You just got to pay for the labor.
Oh my
And sometimes that little thing just makes them feel, oh, okay. So my yelling got the glass for free. Now I'm okay justifying the husband. Guy, I just got to pay for labor.
Look who's appeared. Holy Jesus.
I know. Is this really happening? Let me check my eyes.
I've always wanted to join. I finally got a chance.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be here and just be a fly on the wall. That's all. You guys are all awesome. I can't wait to learn a little bit tonight.
Yeah, right. You should be running the class, man.
No way, no way. This is a thrill for me. Thanks for having me. I'm glad I could finally jump on here.
Oh,
Max Perlstein, you're the man.
Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. That's how I feel, and looking forward to learning something along the way and chatting with you guys. Bill especially talks about how great this is every week, so I'm glad I got to be on it this time.
It is. Last week we had 15 people. I mean, it was very good last week. And I don't know, do you watch the live stream that Chris posts like 2 or 3 days after?
I do see it. Yeah, I do see it. And again, it's like an extension of the page, the best practices. It's just so great. And just the give and take and the talent in this group is just mind blowing. I wish I could just explode it more throughout the industry, because you guys you all just represent us so well.
Yeah, this is a really good group here. There's a few more. Billy Britt is normally here. Brandon Nicastro, I haven't seen him in, I don't know, a month or so, right? Chris,
Yeah.
who are the other ones that are normally on here that's not here tonight?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Mike from Royal Glass in Virginia, West Virginia.
Oh, Mike Maslon, great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. Good deal. Well, it's good to be here. Thanks for having me. And I think Brandon, I want to say Brandon must be traveling, because I saw on his feed that he was looking at places all over the East. I think he was out and about. So that must be what he's up to.
Yeah, I think there's going to be knocking on Brian's door tomorrow.
There you go.
All right, Brian, you going to sell your business?
Short.
Yeah.
He might be out on a hunting trip or something.
For a business.
No, I mean, he hunts for, game and stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't know if this is the right time of year for that.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us. And we're just kind of we're just talking about warranties, and what kind of a warranty that we each offer. Like I offer a 1 year warranty, and it doesn't include leaks. Leaking is not, because I don't. There's no such thing as a leak in a frameless door. But I mean, that being said, when a customer calls me, sometime, even though we've had this discussion, right, before and during and after the installation, I'll still get that call a couple weeks later. Hey, water's getting out. And so then what I do is we have that conversation one more time. Hey, frameless shower enclosures are not watertight. They're just not. But I'll be happy to come out there, squirt a little silicone, put on a plastic edge or something like that. We'll see what we can do to mitigate the problem. But I'm just telling you right now, if you think it's going to be watertight, I mean, you're probably going to be disappointed. And a lot of times if that happens, I'll go out, and do, squirt a little caulking there. It just makes them feel better. And sometimes you can. I mean, sometimes you can actually contain every drop of water. It's just kind of a crapshoot. But
if I could ask a quick question though, and this might be covered, I'm curious from the group. Does anybody offer like a master service agreement for their shower doors, where you get a shower door from you, and then for the next 5 years you can come out once a year and do a cleaning, do a clear shield or DFI or whatever, change the sweeps, make sure the hardware is working. Does anybody do that? Is that something that's out there?
We were
Reading your mind, Bill.
We were just talking about that before you came on, Max. There was
Okay.
a topic I brought up. But what I found out in the investigation, at least in Florida, is if you do that, it has to go through like a third party, somebody to insure it in case you go out of business and they've paid for 5 years in advance. So there has to be a backing. Just like if you go to Costco and buy a television and you want to buy a warranty package, it's through a company like Foursquare or a third-party insurance company. But that was the question I asked Chris, if there was anybody on here that does that. Here's a $1,000 shower door, and for $200 more, you'll have an extended warranty of 4 years or 5 years or something like that. Now, you can do a maintenance agreement for cleaning and things like that, and that's legal without going through a third party. It's if you want to do a replacement or something, and they want to protect the consumer in case you go out of business.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking the maintenance side, especially for those folks that get either the clear shield or the DFI, and they don't know how to use it. They don't understand that they think it's self-cleaning, and they don't take advantage of it. And then little things like little tiny fixes just to keep them happy. I'm glad. I figured you already were down that path. So it's interesting about needing an additional backer if you wanted to do a heavier warranty sort of play.
Yeah, and I'm still investigating because I think it's a good play. The industry standards are saying like only 10% of the people actually put in for a warranty ticket, so to speak. So that means 90% of the people that are paying the upgrade charge don't even use it. They basically buy it as an insurance policy.
Look at every major city. All the big high rises are either insurance companies or banks. So, I mean, most of the insurance is never called upon. If we did that too, I would go after the silicone. Everybody changes their shoes once a year, because when you say it's on parts, you're like, well, are you selling me bad parts? But the caulking has something to do with their cleaning and their shower habits. So it's, once a year we can come, and they don't want any channeling. We scrape out all the caulking and re-caulk it, depending on what type of package they're purchasing. But that's the caulking is always something that can be. Everybody knows what disgusting caulking looks like, and you want us to rip it out and redo it once a year, once every 2 years. That could be part of the package, and they probably won't even call.
I had a long talk with Danny Donahue about caulking, and there's times that people call us that the caulking is turning color and discoloring, and they think it's a mildew or a fungus or something or bacteria, and it's not. It's a chemical reaction to the cleanser they're using. So it can't be bleached or taken off. It has to be cut out and replaced. And that could be a cleanser like a Pine Sol or something like that that just reacts to the particular caulking. And it starts to discolor it and turn it black. So that's an option. Just like Keith said, we can go out and cut it, recut it, and replace it. And obviously, it's more prevalent if you're doing it in clips as opposed to channel. Like our channel has a caulking trough underneath it, so you don't see that exposed caulking. But if you're doing clamps and clips and a lot of exposed caulking, that is a problem, especially with sitting water and whatever cleansers they use. The other part of it is the sweep underneath, to clean that or just give them a fresh sweep, trim it up. That's probably the biggest maintenance thing that you would get called back for over time. And then your typical clicking hinges and then glass going out of adjustment because of walls expanding, which we talked about last week or the week before.
Yeah, when the topic came up of an extended warranty sort of thing, the first thing I thought of was silicone, because that's, probably the one thing that actually does, kind of go bad over time. And then, plastic edge seals, however many of those, there's almost always one on the bottom of the door when I do it. And there are certain configurations, like some neo angles when they're small, you just can't really get by without them, unfortunately. And they, after a couple of years, they turn yellow or start to crack or whatever. So, I do have, I had this one customer in Santa Cruz who, a lady, really, really nice lady. And I did an enclosure for her in her condo. And she had me come back the next year to replace the seals on it, which she's like a clean freak to the max. So it's like I go back there, and a year later, it's like brand new. I mean, there's spotless. I gave her the the diamond fusion or whatever, and all that. But all the sweeps, she takes the sweeps off and cleans them, puts it back on. So a year later, I go back, they're like brand new, but she wants them replaced. And so I've been doing that now. I think it might be like almost 10 years. I've been going back to change the seals every year. And I give her just like a crazy price, low price, because she's just so nice and just like her so much. Now she's like a member of the family.
Goes a long way. Probably got a lot of referrals out of it and you don't even know it.
Yeah, it's like my favorite part, of what I do. It's just those relationships,
Does she get the friends and family discount, Chris?
Yeah.
No discounts. No discounts.
Because for me, I'm not that available to go out and do service calls, because just the nature of our little company. So, so if I do go to do something, it's like, hey, I have to charge you like a half a day. It's expensive for me to come out and fix your little thing. You might be better off, calling a handyman or something. But with something like this, it's just like I do it for a kind of pretty ridiculously low. I don't know why. I think I consider it like I have an adjustment, like a hinge adjustment fee for like existing customers, like this, like $200 or something like that. And so that's what I charge her, and she'd pay me more if I wanted it, but.
Where are you? You're in California?
Yes, sir.
So so that would be like a $75 repair here, right? Because of taxes and gas and everything.
That's what I charge.
Like if it's prorated in Florida.
Environmental fees.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got to make
disposal fee.
Right. You got to make sure there's no salamanders living.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a gray pubic hair. We got to save that one.
An endangered
the silicone is known to state of California to be cancerous, right? Everything is cancerous to California.
There's DNA on that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chris,
tell it to Google.
That went south fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't turn your back on these guys for a minute.
No. Hey, Chris, what's gas cost right now in California?
Oh, it's cheap. I like $4.59 regular.
Oh my God.
I thought they only used electric in California. I didn't think there was gas there.
Yeah, but it takes gas to make the electricity.
Good point.
Hey, how many other people on this place, not Bill, not to you, how many other people on here, everybody on here does heavy glass showers, right? Everybody?
Yeah.
Is anybody exclusively using pivot hinges?
No. Nah, not exclusively.
I'm trying to get there. I'm moving in that direction.
I've been using them more often.
Billy Britt came down and he went through the showroom, and that was one thing that stood away from me. He says, I can't believe you have all these hinges. And I says, when I said this, I kind of saw it in his face, but it begged the question, maybe anyone else doesn't think this way, but I don't even know how many doors we put in a year, but it's in the thousands. And now if you just forget how they work in the actual physical structure and the weight displacement, you got double the amount of holes. Okay, so that's double amount of drilling. It's double amount of screws. It's double amount of drill bits. Double the amount of chances of tile breakage. That's a big one.
Yep.
And then the tensile weight versus the static load. I just can't understand for the life of me why somebody would use one of those hinges over the other and not expect it to fail eventually, especially over volume, not a one-off scenario. 100 at a time, 200 at a time. The repairs have to be astronomical. Has to be.
Well, not everybody has my shower door pivot hinges either. I mean, and there's a big difference. Believe me. It's like if you have to use the other guy's pivot hinges, they're not nearly as good.
Well, Chris, but even not, take that out of the scenario, and thank you for that plug. But even without that, just
I'm just telling
technically,
you the truth, man. I had to use some today.
yeah, of ours or somebody else's?
No, the other guys.
Yeah. Okay. I can't
Not an
I can't
email,
speak
just
to that.
email us.
I don't know why I didn't really have to. I just kind of made a mistake and ordered them.
But just think about the number of holes, the number of drill bits, screws, anchors. So that's double your cost. The hinge is the same cost as a wall mount hinge. I don't see, if you wrote a list of pros and cons, I'm waiting, other than the aesthetics, and that's debatable, it's vanilla and chocolate. What are the structural, time-saving, profitable benefits from a pivot to a wall mount? I don't see it.
And the callbacks, just the callbacks.
Yeah. It's a short bag.
Yeah, I think people just aren't that used to working with them. I really wasn't. And it just didn't occur to me how versatile they really are. And, the more that I do, the more that I like it and the more I'm heading in that direction. And it's cool because since everybody else isn't using those, it gives you that kind of, novelty
Yes.
thing, that's pretty cool. It's like, well, we use these. And when you tell them why, it's like they understand immediately.
Well, especially when they leave on a daily basis, we have average in the Naples showroom between 20, 30 walk-ins a day. 3 of them will go right down the street to another place. 1 of them will come back because they remember all they saw was wall mount hinge. And they said, well, it has a much higher likelihood of it slipping out of adjustment. So naturally you leave a little bit bigger space to allow for that, which opens the door for water leakage, double holes. And before you know it, they kind of talk themselves out of it because the fear kicks in. And so it's almost inarguable. It's going to be stronger. It's no brainer.
No brainer.
I'd be looking at it over the long term.
So one of the things I found out from Billy, the reason that he was using the wall mounts, which he hates, is that he orders his glass from a supplier. So he's getting the glass and the hinges and the handle and the channeling as a package deal. And the suppliers, who in many cases are Old Castle, now CR Lawrence, selling that whole product.
Okay, he said the same thing to me. He says, they got me hamstrung. I says, okay, let's just think about this. So if you don't buy the hardware, your price goes up a little bit more. So for the overall cost of that job, if it cost you $75, $100 more on the front side, for the likelihood of you not breaking a tile, drilling half the amount of holes, so you're going to free up another hour alone. What's Billy's time worth per hour? And then a 75% chance of never having a callback versus, the coin flip that he has now. It's a short bag. I tell the supplier to F off.
Yeah, and it's like, I do the same thing. I use Showers Online, and I can order straight from Showers Online, from Oldcastle, and they'll send me the glass and the hardware. But there's two buttons. There's one that says order glass and hardware. There's one that says just order the glass. And in some cases, see, that's why I ended up with the hardware on this job today, because I hit that other button, but I forgot. But a lot of cases that works. If I just want to use all their hardware, but they don't get mad at me when I don't order their hardware.
That's okay, Chris. We'll still talk.
Everybody should take, hopefully everybody takes note, when we do our completed jobs, if there's ever repairs on those jobs, if you document, in an Excel spreadsheet or Google Doc, every quarter, every year, all your repairs and what the repair was, if you start to see that it's slipping out or the tile cracked or whatever the case may be, over the course of a year, you add up all the money tied to that repair, I think you'll see it's not even close. It's not even close. Billy's going to look at that.
Yeah, but he knows. He just went through his service calls, and 80% of them were hinge slips.
Yeah.
Just coming out of the hinge. 80%. That's a lot. It's killing them. And Chris, even on our pages, I'm reading it. There's guys all the time. There's how do you block the hinge? How do you stop it from coming out? And all these guys have their homemade things. I use epoxy. I use rubbing alcohol on the glass, clean it, and change out the gaskets and use the clear ones instead of the rubber ones. And everybody's got that. Just the design alone, the pivot notch with the nipple on the end is locking the glass from going anywhere. The only way that goes out of adjustment is if the hinge is coming off the wall. The screws come out of the wall, not the glass within the hinge plate.
I have never had to go back and adjust one of those top and bottom mount pivot doors. Never had to adjust one. It's never gone out of adjustment. So, that right there pays any little additional cost or discomfort, there might be in switching over. I'm really a believer. I've definitely moved in that direction quite a bit, and
what the other benefit is when the builder comes back to us and says, hey, times are a little tough, and we shopped your price, we haven't shopped you in a while, and the other guy's $200 cheaper, and it says, hey, it sounds like you're really paying attention to detail. And he says, yeah, we are. I says, okay, how many callbacks or service calls have you ever had from us? They said none. I said, you're willing to risk that for $200? It says, send over the purchase order. Because you don't have any callbacks. So that just gives you another value add after to remind them when they start asking about that, because all the other competitors are using the wall mount hinges.
Yeah. And the other option is in Florida, lots of times they're not using wood for backers behind there. So you can't even guarantee if there's wood backing. The pivots, you don't have to worry about that. Again, you're the weight of it's down into the threshold.
So true.
But anyhow, it's not about pivots. It's about shower door professionals. What else is on the dock?
It's not about pivots. Sometimes it's about pivots.
Sometimes it is.
Eric Stern, have you been on this call before?
Eric, come on down.
I can't remember.
I was a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. What's going on, man? What's your warranty?
It's a 1-year warranty, same as yours.
Yeah, if it doesn't go wrong in a year, it doesn't seem like it's going to. And sometimes I have a thing that I do that I follow up with all my customers after 1 year. So I'm like, at the end of a year, they automatically get a text message from me that says, hey, just want to tell you that it's been a year, and it's like, hope you still love your shower door. Let us know if you need anything. And most of the times they're like, wow, yeah, we love our shower door. Thanks. They're blown away that we got in touch. Nobody does that, And then from time to time, it's like, oh yeah, the door, it's shifted a little bit or whatever, So it's like, cool. Well, great. That's why I'm contacting you, because before it goes out of warranty, I want to come out there and take care of that for you.
Do you send the text out on the last day at like midnight, and then that way when you get back to the next day, oh, too bad you didn't call me yesterday.
Wow.
Yep. So yeah, people trip on that. I mean, who does that? Who calls you to make sure that you get a chance to take advantage of your warranty before it expires? So it's the little things like that, that set us apart, right?
Goes a long ways. Goes a long ways. Hey, while Max is here, I don't know how many of the other guys on here even know Max. Maybe they should just introduce themselves so he understands the breadth of this page and where everybody's from.
Yeah, that'd be great. Love to know where everybody's from.
All right. Well, you know us, right? And for
Yeah.
Eric and some of the new guys. So Keith is my son, and we're in Florida, Naples, Fort Myers area.
Yeah, so Brian Sherd, Chattanooga, as you can see, Chattanooga Premier Glass, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Awesome.
We do shower doors as well as insulated. Plus, I have a second company that manufactures insulated as well.
Oh wow! So you have like an IG line, and you use it for yourself, or you sell to like other local glass shops?
I'm trying to get out to sell to other local glass shops, but mostly we're our own customer. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. Nice to meet you.
I'm Tim Cannell. I'm from Monterey, California, across the bay from Chris. And we have Carmel Glass, and we're a full service shop. We do a lot of shower doors, insulated units, and used to do a lot of commercial, but we got out of that.
And Tim, I saw your coffee mug was Glass Fab, so that's I picked that logo up from afar. Is that my eyes not deceiving me? Is that a Glass Fab coffee mug?
That's Glass Fab. I've known Goldfarb since he was with Having Wick and ACI. That's how far back I go.
Yeah, Goldfarb's a legend. Great guy.
Yeah. So you've been around a long time. Did you ever know Don Harder?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don. Yeah, speaking of legends, absolutely, for sure.
He was a legend.
Yes.
From the California Glass Association.
That no doubt. He was the godfather of all of that.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I even got a little booklet he started. Well, he put out the source. I have that, and then he started another little booklet for shower doors, and then the Glass Association folded, and that was the end of that. Yeah.
And there's been talk about trying to get that California Glass Association going again. There's been people in San Diego talking about it, and it'd be really nice to see that come back because it really was a power back in the day.
Oh yeah, and he'd have the trade shows, California, shows and stuff. Oh, he was a great guy.
Fantastic. Well, it's nice to meet you. Hopefully one of these days I get to see. I want to hopefully get to see all of you guys at a show here one of these days. That's for sure.
Brian, you're up.
I'm Brian Schwartz, owner operator, Freedom Glass and Mirror up in Bergen County, New Jersey, northern New Jersey, just over the line from New York. Full service glass company, tabletops, home IG replacements, shower doors, wine cellars, a little glass railing here and there, pretty much everything. Pretty much one-man show, so fairly new in business. Just trying to grow and stay on track, really.
Sure. Who's your main glass supplier? Is it Glass Enterprises?
I use Eastern Glass Resource. Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know them, so that's interesting. Where are they out of? They're in New Jersey, I assume.
Yeah, they're in Harrison, New Jersey, near Secaucus, kind of 15 minutes from CR Lawrence in Secaucus. Okay,
yeah, and I know CRL's place in Secaucus because it's right down the road from GGI in Secaucus.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're not far from there.
Okay, good to know. Well, congrats on getting going. Good luck.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I love you're putting yourself out there, so that's cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
And then Eric.
I'm Eric Stern. I own Moffett Glass in Greeley, Colorado. Full service glass shop, full commercial, mirrors and shower doors, and then also residential.
Cool, very cool. And that's how is the Colorado market for you these days? I mean, I know it's been kind of up and down, but it seems to be good right now, I assume.
It's very good right now. It's just difficulty getting any product. All the manufacturers around here are for shower doors are up to 4 weeks for turnaround time. So it's a little difficult right now.
Did you buy out of Denver? The folks out of Denver?
I buy from Oldcastle and Agilite. I also worked for Oldcastle for 17 years. So
Gotcha.
I try to keep business there.
Yeah. It's a challenge though. Some areas it's really hard to get tempered. And those guys are having trouble getting glass, especially 6 mil. If you're doing, I know you guys like to do the 10 and the 12, but 6 mil is really getting hard to find. 1/4 inch clear, tough to find right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to tell people 3/8 is tough to find. They should just buy 1/2 inch low iron. Got plenty of it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. How about you, Steve?
Yeah, Steve Nunn here. I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and I'm kind of a one-man band. I'm a fireman, and I got my days off. I do the glass work, so I kind of stick to shower doors and railing and mostly interior residential shower glass.
Wow. So I feel like all we do in the glass industry is put fires out all day, and you actually do that for part of your living. I like that.
Yeah, twice. Yeah,
absolutely. That's perfect. Very cool. Very cool. It's nice to meet you.
Perfect mustache too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely. And then Bob Dugan, who I think I'm friends with you on Facebook somewhere along the way.
I think we are. And you're
Yes,
Steve, your brother.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
I had an experience with him here. I'm in Kansas City.
Yep.
We were having a little difficulty with the tempering, getting glass that wasn't bowed, and he paid a personal visit here.
Okay. Nice.
I know we're all right. We're decent sized, but back then we were pretty small, and we had 8 doors lined up. They were all, anywhere from 3/8 to 1/2 inch bowed. And he told the plant manager, but get this guy good glass. And then as he's walking out the door, we had just put in a showroom with no stalls. And he goes, and while you're at it, give him glass to fill up all those stalls.
Nice.
So he's a very nice man there. I'm sure you're even nicer though, right?
I try, but he's good. He's good. He's at W.A. Wilson in West Virginia now. And he's the ultimate sales guy. So it doesn't surprise me that he would make sure you were taken care of. And
no, that was great. But like I said, we're in Kansas City, and now that we're getting our glass from 310, since Cardinal decided that the Midwest is not part of their future. So, but we've had excellent luck with them.
Well, the 310 guys are fantastic.
Right.
Good, really, really good people. Chris and those guys are super. And the Cardinal, very interesting. They've pulled out of Texas. They've pulled out of Kansas City. They're really limiting where they're going. Really changing their focus. And then they're also putting out a 20% price increase on clear. So that's kind of not making people very happy.
We just got that this week. That's in us, but
we got 12%.
Yeah, that was a little rough. I guess that I should introduce myself. I'm a lifer kind of in this industry. My family has been in the glass business since 1898. I started in 91. We had a glass fabrication plant in Pittsburgh, which is now a True Light location. And then I worked for Arch Aluminum. That's where Bob got to meet my brother when Arch was in Kansas City. Then I worked a little bit with Vitro, and then I started my own business in 2011 as a consultant, marketing and communication consultant. And my biggest client's the National Glass Association. So I work really closely with the NGA, with Glass Build America, with BEC, GPAD, the glass conferences, my glass class, things like that. And that's how I got to know people like Chris and Bill and Keith. I do a blog every Sunday on the glass industry that gets repeated in Glass Magazine every Tuesday. Do a podcast once a month, which Bill and Chris have been guests on. And I've always wanted to be on this call, and I've never had a chance. I've always been running around. So I'm glad I get to talk with you guys. I'm a big fan of everything that all of you guys do and you post on this page. It's just great stuff, and it's great learning. The best practices here is amazing. So thanks for having me, and I look forward to being on this again in the future.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, Max. I was hoping that you would go ahead and kind of introduce yourself a little. I mean, all of us have been around for a while. Everybody knows who you are because you're a superstar.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, some of these newer guys might not be familiar with you. But Max, I mean, this guy is like salt of the earth. You know, I mean, there's nobody who doesn't like Max. You know, I
I
mean,
try.
and I don't think there's anybody that doesn't know him unless they just haven't been around very long. And what a generous, great guy. I've met so many people through him. I've had so many opportunities opened up for me because of Max. So, man, having you on the call is just a real honor. So,
Well,
thanks for
thank
being here.
thank you. The honor's all mine. And for those of you who don't really know me, if I can ever help, if you have questions, like Chris will tell you, if you need connections or whatever, I'm always out here to help. And glad to help the industry, glad to help people out. And again, that's what I do. So it's great to be here though, and I'm fans of all of yours. The way you guys get things done is impressive, really impressive.
Hey, Max, I want to follow up on the My Glass class. I was on
Yeah.
with Andrew Herring yesterday. And when you and he did the tour through our factory and you noticed that we had a training center set up, it kind of opened his eyes up. So he's reaching out for Keith and I to look at the My Glass class, which I didn't realize how extensive it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really extensive. So we're going to log on and take a look at that and then see if we can't help promote it through the Shower Door Professionals group. And I'm a member of a few other shower door groups as well. So once we take a look at that and evaluate it, we'll give our input and then try and push it for you.
Thank you. And I think that's important. I think that, the classes on My Glass class are built all by folks in the industry, but there is a weakness on the shower door side for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're of the belief that, we all live and die by the people in our profession. I know you compete against people that suck. If we can make everybody better, it helps everybody in the long run. But also if we provide things where you can train your people and keep them up to speed and you bring new people in, on-demand training makes a huge difference. Huge difference.
Well, definitely. And we talked about it's all about training, right? Everyone's talking about it's hard to get help. It's hard to get help. Well, if you're not training, if you're just throwing them in a truck and say, learn from this guy, they're going to get burned out pretty quick. But if you have a very concise, rigid curriculum to follow and a training and then follow up on top of that, I think it's a recipe for success and then breeding kids in right out of school and teach them a career the right way.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's important for the industry, and I say kudos to NGA for coming up with that whole My Glass class. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, we're trying. It is tough because a lot of folks don't believe in the training or feel like they don't have time. But right now with it on demand, I mean, there's just so many different things, and even the basics like handling glass, safety, things like that. They're so crucial. You hire somebody, and because it is on demand, they folks can watch it at night. They can watch it, during lunchtime, and it, they can get it done in a good amount of time and then be more knowledgeable. And, everybody who's taken the course has given some good feedback, but I am excited to hear what you guys all say and the feedback provided back. And then we can build things that are more accurate and can help that next generation of installer. And that's the goal.
Yeah, and that other group that Chris and I are on with Danny Donahue and a few other really good experts throughout the country with the best practices for shower door installation. It's like an installation design guide. Good group of people that Andrew put together on that, and it's coming along pretty well.
Yeah, those are huge and really, really important because those design guides also will morph, I assume, Bill, into guidelines and standards that the rest of you guys can use when you're out at a problem customer and they say, well, why is this like this? And then you can hand them this document from the NGA, that breaks down, what they're seeing. And that gives you that insurance, basically, that a little bit of that extra oomph to get over the hump with the homeowner. It is almost like a third party sort of, protection for you, that you did everything in compliance.
Yeah.
It's just some street cred.
It goes back to the building inspectors too, that come out and see these shower doors and said, well, where did you get designed for this? And is it safe.
Yeah,
Sure. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
That happened years ago in California, back in Don Harder's days,
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no doubt. Now I have a question with you guys. It's a little bit old school. Do you ever run into any clients that don't want the logo on the tempered? And what do you do in that case? Because I'm scared to death. I would never want to do it. Keith is going crazy. Please, I'm curious. What happened?
Okay. I learned this this was a blessing in disguise. It's so perfect because so in our group here, Max, we're on LinkedIn, or some of us are, and I shared. We closed a deal today that we've been working on for a while, and it's a large high rise, and 300-400 shower doors, but this is the fourth high rise in a row on this development. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've done all four. But on the first one, we started pre-ordering a lot of pre-made doors, and then we build the panels off of that and figure we know how many are going in this high rise. We just don't know the exact dimensions, and they're not all going to be square. So let's just gamble and we'll pre-buy 50 of them. But some of them in carrying on in a project like this, we're not used to. Maybe they chipped the corner, or there's a blemish here. And if it was turned upside down, we could have salvaged it because it was square, but now the bug's up there. And we came up with the way to redesign the bug, and we had them put on the little nipple in the pivot hinge. And so now if we have to flip the door upside down for whatever reason, you'll never see that bug. I also think, aren't you allowed to have a certificate of authenticity that it's tempered? So if a customer says, I don't want the bug, that you could just give them almost that title to, as long as it came from the tempering house, that it was tempered.
You
California.
can. Yeah, in some state, California, as we joked earlier, California is a whole different world. But you can. But I never wanted to do that as a fabricator because of chain of command. Where this glass went. And I mean, that was obviously before things like RFID, but even now, even your best plants, I don't think ever want to sell you a no logo shower door. I wouldn't. I think it's crazy, and I wouldn't want to put one in.
Hey, so it opens
doesn't
up
have a logo? Why?
I don't try. Honestly, because I see the way that, not every fabrication plan is as beautiful as D3, my architectural glass, where it's organized and flowing. I get very worried about tempering plants, that are haphazard and, grab glass without a logo on it, think, it gets moved across.
That makes sense.
All of a sudden that glass may have gotten fabricated and didn't go through the oven. Didn't get the logo, and it goes out. I struggle to, trusting it. It's probably from the fact that I worked in a fabrication plant, had a fabrication plant. If a piece went out without a logo, and the customer called and said, "Hey, we're about to install this. There's no logo," we would say, "No, bring it back." And 99% of the time we'd bring it back, and it would break. We'd break it, and it'd break tempered, and be like, "Damn it!" Yeah. But it's peace of mind. And
I just thought the other reason we put the bug on the nipple was on the first tower, we ordered 50% of them stock. And then we realized a lot of them had between 1/8 and 1/4 inch out of square. So we put out of squares on the doors, but still put the logo on there because I didn't know if the out of square was going to be at the top or bottom. So they gave us the ability to flip it upside down.
Yeah. And like Tim will tell you, there are some municipalities that the code inspectors need to see that logo. And if they don't see the logo, they don't care.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's the way the code is written. It's supposed to be visible, but there are many customers that request it. And, we haven't had it in a while.
We haven't had that forever.
No, we haven't. No, it used to be a thing. They didn't want it at the top. Like if it's going to be there, it must be at the bottom. And that was another issue. And I think every fabricator out there now is not going to promise where it's going to end up as long as it's in a corner.
I always specify where it's at.
Yes, but you don't always get it.
You can take it. You can polish it off.
That's true.
Oh yeah, I can buff it off too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a new fabricator out here in Fremont. And this gal comes down, wants me to buy her shower door. I says, "I'm not going to buy that because I'm not going to put your billboard on the shower door. I mean, her logo was huge.
Massive.
Who is she? Tim, I'm curious. What fabricator?
It was U.S. Tempering.
Okay. Wow.
And
It's
she
a big bug.
I mean, God, it's huge.
You gotta take a picture. I want to see one. You gotta put that in the group. That's cool.
I mean, she's no longer with the company. I says, I'm not going to buy your shower doors. I'm not going to have that billboard.
They should be paying you to take that glass.
Yeah. I mean, everybody else is, Overcast used to have a big, ugly one. And they've fine lined it. Now, Glass Fab, they have a real small one.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to look for it. You can't find it.
Oh, it's really hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
The code is written. It's supposed to be readily visible.
Yeah.
For the inspector, and sometimes it's very, very difficult, especially in new construction where there's not good lighting. They'll have to go in with a flashlight, and hopefully it's reflecting somewhat off.
You used to buy these little stickers with the arrow pointing.
Yeah.
Stick it on the glass.
So Max, this brings up a great topic. How many fabricators out there self-certify?
It's funny on the tempered, more than you would think, unfortunately, in my opinion. I never realized it until when we sold our company in 97. We joined up with a group of companies, and 2 of the companies were self-certified, and we were shocked. We're like, what do you mean you're self-certified? You're not SGCC, you're not using a different group. And they said, no, we don't need to do that. And we could not believe it. Now we, told them that they had to because the rest of the group was. I would say probably about 15% is my guess of the industry is self-certified. The heavy majority still does get the third party. I really struggle with the self-certification. I think it works, but again, this smaller the company, I mean, I've walked through plants where it's frightening, and I those are the types of plants that might be self-certifying, and I just don't.
Why would you do that?
Why would you self-certify?
Yeah.
Money. They think it's.
What do you mean money? For what?
For certification. They don't want to pay SGCC the money.
Why don't they have the glass supplier pay for it?
When you're of a smaller size glass supplier, you're lucky to even get glass from the glass supplier, let alone them paying any certification for you. The problem is that a lot of these guys that get into tempering are hornswoggled by the equiment manufacturer.
Hornswoggled. That's a good one.
That's your word of the night tonight.
Hornswoggled.
Hornswoggling.
Yeah. So they get hooked in by the machinery folks, because there's tons of machinery folks who would come to somebody like Brian in New Jersey. You're rolling along. Give it 2 years from now, you're rocking and rolling. You've built your place up, and they're like, dude, you need to temper your own glass. We can get you an oven for nothing, basically. And they make it really easy for you to get into it, and then they forget to tell you all the other costs. And they forget to even tell you things like harp racks and all the things that you would need. And you begin to scramble, and then you start to look to cut costs. And at that point, when you're looking to cut costs, you look at, well, I'm not going to go through SGCC for certification. I can do it myself. I can follow the rules. I'll break the glass every hour or whatever, which you won't. And you'll try to self-certify and try to get away with it. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that do that. So you have to be very, very careful. But I think from talking to everybody in this group, I mean, the 310s of the world do things the right way. Obviously the Glass Fabs, Brian Freya at Glass Fab is an absolute, insane asylum sort of guy. He would never, ever do anything out of bounds. So, people like that are going to follow the rules. It's just some of the smaller guys, you have to be careful. That's all.
Doesn't seem like the juice is worth the squeeze on that.
It's not, but I feel bad for some folks that get into it. There was a guy that got into it in Louisiana who was a shower door installer, was convinced to get into tempering by a equipment manufacturer, him and his partner. It's been a disaster for them because they weren't ready for it. They didn't understand what they were doing. They spent a ton of money on equipment, and they now him and his partner don't even talk. I mean, and they're together, and I mean, they're holding on by a thread, and it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And they were cutting their own glass. They had a cutting machine, and they're cutting their own glass at 27% yield. They were throwing away 70% of everything they cut because they weren't understanding what was going on the cutting side.
It can happen quick, you know.
So it's some people get hooked into it and they don't know what they're doing, and it's a shame. It's a real shame.
So the reason I bring it up is there's a lot of shower door installers that are on Chris's page here. I think, what do you have, Chris? Over 2,200 members of this group?
I think we're at like 1,800, 1,900, something like
1,800. That. And out of that, a lot of these installers are buying from some fabricator somewhere, and they don't understand the labeling on the bug. There may be a bug on there and it says tempered.
Yeah.
That's it. No numbers. They don't understand what the numbers mean, what you have to go through to get it certified. They just get a piece of glass that says tempered and they think they're good. Now, if they go out and try and do a high rise where the architect has specified that it has to meet all the ANSI regulations, and they don't know the difference, they're putting themselves at a huge risk, huge risk, and they don't know it.
What we always told when we had the fabrication companies, we always told our customers that the selling point is that you are supplying tempered that is coming from an FCCC certified facility. You're selling fully third-party certified tempered. That is in all of the specs. And if your competitors aren't, they are really not. They're not. In compliance with the specifications. So that's a big thing. That's a big thing. And I guess my question, Brian, you do insulating, but you haven't moved into tempering yet, have you? I'm sure since you're doing insulating, Brian, out of Chattanooga, I assume that the machinery people were probably hitting you up to get a tempering oven.
No, I bought all used equipment anyway,
okay.
And so I went around the back end on that one, I guess. But I don't have the facility or the volume to do tempering. I would love to. I always say that the first guy that starts a tempering furnace in Chattanooga is going to own the town, but not yet.
Not yet. Matter of time.
And I do say not yet because I would like to do it at some point.
What size furnace would you get, Brian?
I like it.
I don't even know what sizes are offered. I have no. Probably a small. I mean, I just do. I do residential glass. I don't do anything big, so it would just be a residential furnace.
Well, if and when you're ready for that, I strongly suggest you go to Fort Myers and visit with the Daubmans and see what they do, and definitely get to places like GPAD, the glass processing show, so you could see all of the equipment and meet people. That'll definitely, and that's in Nashville this year, so it's not far from you. Maybe worth your time to sneak over to Nashville at the end of March and just see what's out there.
End of March, okay. Yeah, I might do that. It's a couple hours, so.
Yeah. I'll send you a note. I'll get your info from Chris. I'll send you a note.
Yeah, do that, please.
Will do.
Wow.
Sorry, didn't mean to hijack.
Man. We're going all over the place.
Didn't mean to hijack it here. I apologize. Please get back to you.
Hey, it's great.
I'm counting on you to do that.
Yeah.
Before you came on, I was telling Chris how we should try and get the guys from 310 to come on.
Yeah.
I can't believe you mentioned them because I know Greg very, very well. He's such a super guy.
Greg's a sweetheart, and I think he'd be great. And obviously, the Phantom, him inventing the Phantom and doing what he did with that. But great guy. Chris is a great guy, so I'm sure that they would get on there. But I know that those guys are always so busy too, especially with the new facility over on the east.
So we're this close to getting Don Freeze on here. I'm still trying to get Don, and I know I'll get him yet.
That'd be great.
I had him on the podcast, and he was wonderful. He was wonderful on the podcast.
Yeah. I listened to every minute of it. It was great.
Absolutely.
He's a super guy.
He's like the Babe Ruth, man.
Yeah,
the industry,
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, he is.
Awesome.
I love it.
Awesome.
Hey,
Story,
let us all sell our businesses for 1.1 billion. How about that? Let's all follow in that bit. That
Here. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
I'll
Max,
fire sale ours right now for half of that.
There you go. Hey, Max, I did want to tell you, we ended up selling 3 shower doors to Bert Blyleven.
Nice. Very nice.
I'm not sure they're installed yet. They should be any day now.
Very nice. Well, the guys on the call, I got to visit the Daubmans, and I got to see, Keith took me to a job site, and I got to see not only some shower doors, but I saw a glass spiral staircase that they put in. that the glass suppliers of Glass Shape, that's out of Australia, Keith. This thing was just, I mean, mind blowing to look at, and you know, just the functionality to be able to put it in, the engineering, Keith and his group, just stunning, just a stunning, staircase there, something to see. Something to
Keep
see.
going, Max.
Can you start that speech over?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I love seeing the material. I love and the worst part is my wife picked on me tonight. She goes, "When are we going to get to redo the bathroom?" Because I have a 25-year-old shower door, 6 mil, 1/4 inch, with gold framing, really bad. It is the worst shower door setup you can imagine. And here I feel like I'm so connected to the glass industry. I live for the product, and I probably have the worst shower door of anybody in this industry. So one of these days.
I still have a curtain on.
I love it.
That is hilarious.
The shoemaker's got the worst shoes. You know this.
That's true.
Exactly. Yeah, I was out measuring for a new contractor that I'm doing work for, and he's talking about that, you know, his house, and his wife's after him to finish the remodel that he started, 10
so
years
true.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Sad but true.
So Keith, I got to tell you about a staircase we did up on Los Altos Hills. It was the guy that invented the first Google car. And he had glass spiral staircases, steps going down, and they had a party. And the caterer took all the bottles in a plastic bag down the stairs. And the bag broke. And, 5,000, all the way down the stairs.
Glass stair treads?
Yep.
Laminate, triple laminate?
Oh, they were thick.
You're saying like $5,000 each?
Yeah, it was Curvista. I mean,
or a bunch of stock in Google.
Yeah, it came from Curvista out of Mexico, and Giro Glass was doing that. But
are they close to you, Giro Glass?
No, they're in LA.
Yeah,
a contractor. This was an 85-foot diameter house, and the contractor brought them up to do the exterior of the house, and we did all of the shower door work and everything else inside the house. But
did you fix the stair treads?
No, I didn't. I didn't need any more headaches. I mean, these guys flew up there, and they had a little bus that they drove to the job site back and forth. It was a pretty interesting job.
Stair treads, a lot of, what I'm seeing, at least trend wise, interior stair treads are growing. Handrails, glass handrails, inside the home, on the stairwells, even a regular everyday home, where it used to be kind of the wood spindles, they're going to glass with polished edges, glass that might fit into a thinner frame, more glass partitions in the home, again, to allow, more natural light to come through, maybe using glass with switchable, the opaque switchable, floor to ceiling sort of thing. So, those are definitely some of the trends that we're seeing go more mainstream than ever. A couple of years ago, you couldn't get a glass stairwell into a regular home, or a glass railing into a regular home, for nothing. Maybe you can get a glass railing on the outside of the home, especially if they had a view. Now it's, you're seeing it a lot more often, and you're seeing builders start to offer it in their upgrade packages at the same rate that they're offering, higher end shower doors too. So that's something to keep in mind. It's a nice add, and something you guys can all do. And
Max, we're so long on what you're saying. We just signed a lease for a second space strictly for office partitions, glass railings, and the wine cellars. And we're making we got in conjunction with a metal fabricator to make 2-tier stairs for stair treads and the glass railings around it, just to showcase it. It'll be the first of its kind in our area. Wow. Because we see it just like you, everything's being more modernized and evolving, and it's just more and more glass.
Yeah. Cigar rooms, man caves, that's
sheds.
Yeah. She sheds. And again, using especially the cost of the switchable glass has come down so much that for that man cave she shed sort of thing, your cigar room, flip the switch and it turns completely opaque and gives the privacy that the people want to kind of chill in there. That's a really hot play right now, and it's come down so far in price. It's affordable.
Wow, that's good news.
Yeah,
more glass.
More glass.
The world needs more glass.
It does.
And we're just the guys to do it.
Yep.
We are. Well, I think you have to be thinking.
Right? Thanks so much for joining us tonight, Max. I hope this is not going to be just a one-time thing.
No, I'd love to be back. I will definitely work my way back. And thank you all for listening to me and hearing me out. I enjoy getting to talk and to hear some of the things that you guys talked about. And I'm sorry I kind of dominated the conversation tonight. Next time,
a voice like that can't go to waste. You've got such a perfect voice. I need to have you do like one of our telephone on hold messages.
Yes.
Yeah. You have stars doing that. My gosh.
No, we want you.
You are a star.
Dude.
Yes, exactly.
Guys,
that will be the voiceover king.
I'm gonna send you a script and ask you to do that.
Yeah, don't let them sandbag you. I think they have Michael Keaton or Ben Affleck doing their voices on their on hold.
That's hilarious.
Jennifer Lopez, something like that. So no.
Denzel
Thank you. And Brian, I'll drop you an email about G-Pad since you're down the road in Chattanooga. That'd be worth it for you to drive on over for that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Will do.
Max, do you know Greg Stoll? Clinton Glass?
I don't.
No, he's in
Knoxville.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll have to reach out too. Very cool. Okay.
All right. Well, good night, guys. Chris, have a good dinner.
Good night.
Thanks.
Thanks,
See you
everyone.
guys next Wednesday.
Good night, guys. See you next week.
Thank you, Chris.